I want to talk about this because this was the first card that came out, and I do feel many, many, many of you were yearning for a situation from the past that you're still very nostalgic for. And for some of you, I feel almost as if, given the chance, you would definitely want to go back to it because I feel like you're not ready to let it go. And I feel the scenario playing out in a way where in the past there was a situation where there was a lot more stability. And I feel for some of you, this was kind of like you had a lot of people around you that hung on to your every words. You might have also like ran an organization. You might have been in charge of providing the stability within an institution, within an organization, within a company. I feel like you were in a leadership capacity and you were kind of like leading the fight for the truth, leading the fight to educate others, to spread the news, to spread ideas. And you had a very, very, very wide following. A lot of people hung on to your words and a lot of people respected. And, you were somewhat in the public limelight where you made a lot of traction in the professional front. And I'm sensing because this was something in the past, a lot of you are wanting that rush again, wanting to, relive that very exciting phase in your life. So it could have happened, in your 40s and you're now watching this in your 60s and beyond. And you're just like, I want another opportunity to do that very, very daring, very precarious, very exciting thing all over again. And for some, I feel like there is an opportunity beckoning you, calling out to you and, forcing you to take another risk. And I do sense that, when you're dealing with this right now, you want to relive that heyday. You want to relive that experience. And you're just like, I feel like that experience is just going to be exactly like what I experienced in the past. It provided that adrenaline rush. It provided, an opportunity for me to take center stage and to be in the limelight. And it made you very, very happy. So you're trying to recreate that moment. Okay. For some of you, they mention here an element of being very careful if there is somebody coming in and they're presenting an opportunity for you. You want to make sure that the opportunities themselves are well thought out, that they have a solid proposal, and that they have like a game plan as to what your contributions are. They're very clear about what your contributions are. They're very clear about monetary financial payment or repayment or whatever that's owed to you. They're very clear about their objectives. And I also feel like, you want to be very careful that whatever work that you're putting in, you're being compensated fairly. Okay. Fairness is a major, major theme for this month. So even though the opportunity is exciting, you're not supposed to play the martyr where you work for a cause tirelessly without seeing the financial windfall. So it's really, really important if somebody's coming in wanting to get you on board that you are very clear. They're very clear upfront and you're very clear with them upfront what each party expects from one another. Okay, so that's just something I feel coming through. The second thing that kind of jumped out at me here is this is a card overall about getting along with people, right? It's kind of like a very, very good friendship, sense of camaraderie, sense of people coming together and having the same ideas, having the same mentality, and moving forward in the spirit of, mutual agreement, okay? I'm sensing for some of you in the recent past, so this is, for the past, I want to say possibly since March or April, um, you are generally a very, very popular sign. And I feel like a lot of people, they feel very comfortable with you and they feel like they can really open themselves up and just be very candid and be very, frank with you. So I feel like it's easy for you to form emotional connections with others. It's easy for you to be, really open-hearted and open-handed when you're dealing with others. And a lot of people do come to you and confide in you. I just feel for this, the energy for this year, since the March, April timeframe, It feels almost as if things have been a little bit lonely, okay? And I also feel as if your friends, you might be for whatever reason, at a distance from your friends. So this can be emotionally, this can be geographically. You just feel like it takes twice as much effort to find people who are like-minded. Okay, so on the one hand, we can meet people like you fit in anywhere. You're actually very, adaptable to your environment and adaptable to people, and you're generally very well liked. But this is a card more about, connecting with somebody more on a superficial level where you have the same interests and you have the same, agendas. You might even be professionally in the same field. And so it's just easy for everybody to get along. But on the other hand, your true kindred spirits, which is, the really, really close friends that you can always come to, the ones that you divulge all of your deepest, darkest secrets to, and especially the ones that, true, deep rooted relationships. I feel like your friends might be a little bit further away for some of you. Some of you might have gone off to school, gone off to land a job, and you're no longer close to the people that you hold dear. And it just feels overall as if it takes twice as much effort to find like-minded people. And I feel that it's really important for you for this month to find like-minded people and to, really, if you're in a new environment, for example, to go where the people are so that you can make new connections, you can forge new friendships, and you can create, this emotional support network for yourself. It's not good to isolate ourselves too much or, as a water sign, you need to be emotionally connecting with people in order for you to be operating at your best. So if you have been, kind of cocooning yourself in your home or waiting for, people to invite themselves to your home or waiting for a lot of home visits and home calls, I do sense that it's going to feel a little bit lonely. It's going to feel a little bit isolating. So it's important for you to take the initiative, take the steps to go where you can meet new people and to go where you can find people who are like-minded. Okay. So, I, for some reason, feel like this has been something that you've been thinking about, that you've been kind of on the fence about since the March timeframe. There might have been falling out between family members, especially love relationship partners. And as a result of it, you've been kind of cocooning yourself in the home environment, not wanting to go out. Or you might have broken up with somebody and you might have mutual friends and you don't want to go out in a social setting because you feel like, oh, what if I run into them? What if I run into their friends? So there's an element here about feeling very emotionally displaced and very physically displaced and feeling almost as if it's like a fish out of water. You're in an environment that you don't feel really comfortable in, and they're telling you to, hang in there. Friendships, new social circle, new networks are going to be made available for you. But it's really, really important that you make that extra effort to, link yourself up with church organizations, link yourself up with political institutions, link yourself up with a local community so that you can find like-minded people. Okay. Through these superficial associations, I feel like the emotional rapport can definitely deepen and it can create opportunities for you to form lasting relationships, lasting bonds. Okay. I'm also feeling for some of you, you are coming in this month newly single, definitely dating, trying to dating, connecting with new people. And while you're connecting with new people, I feel like you have some people pursuing you. What I have here is an air sign. So this is an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. This is somebody definitely interested in having a relationship with you. And what I also feel as well, we have an earth sign in the picture, possibly somebody in the work environment or somebody who is also pursuing you. So this is, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But I'm also feeling like while the interaction is very lighthearted, very fun, very nice, some of you are feeling as if I need more. I need more of that visceral, emotional connection. I need more emotional depth because it seems to me like you're looking for a lot more that these people in your midst are not able to give. Okay. You're looking for more emotional investment. You're looking for more depth. And it seems to me as if a lot of you might have broken up from a great love. Like this was something that was a very significant relationship. It was very, very stable for you. Like the other person really did care about you and they try their best to provide you with a very good, stable foundation. And for whatever reason, life circumstances, differences in opinion, whatever the situation was, the relationship ended and you're looking to recreate something similar. You're looking for that same connection. And they're telling you that, I feel it's going to be in the picture for you, but we can't really compare the past person with the present person. We can't really compare that past situation with the present. It's like apples and oranges. It's not comparable. And every new experience provides us with something new. It could be more exciting, but either way, it is a learning experience. So I feel like you're using the past to gauge the potential of the present, which might not be fair. If you're doing this to relationship partners, it's kind of like, it's already starting off on an unfair and unwise footing. If you're doing this in kind of like a professional setting or even with friends, it's unwise to impose that type of expectation onto new people and especially onto new situations. So this month, one of the major theme I feel is give things a try. Be a little bit more open-minded. Being a little bit more, I feel like coming in without expectations, coming in, with a clean slate. It's going to be very crucial for you so that you don't judge new situations, new people with, a gauge, a ruler, a barometer from the past. Okay. Because the past is done. You're trying to recreate it, but it's not something that you can, hold on to anymore. So letting go is going to be very crucial for you. What I do feel as well is, I feel like some of you are trying to date and you have somebody that you might share children with, you might co-parent with, and they're kind of giving you a hard time. Okay, so this here is significant relationship or somebody that you used to live with, you might have children with, and you might even be divorced from. You're trying to move on with your life, and this person feels a little bit possessive of you, or they feel like, they feel like they have the right to dictate to you who you can and cannot bring around your mutual children, or who you can and cannot, choose to be friends with, because I feel like somebody is trying to keep you. They feel like they have the right to tell you how to run your life. They feel like they have the right as well to tell you, to impose expectations upon you, and it's not really fair. So you want to be particularly very, very careful. Okay. Um, the other message I'm sensing here is, and you really like the coworkers, you really like the people that you're working with. And I feel like some of you might even want a deeper connection with somebody that you're at work with. So it could be, wanting to have more opportunities to engage with them, wanting to have more opportunities for, social gatherings when it comes to coworkers, and almost feeling as if for whatever reason that you don't really fit in. So I feel like a lot of you are kind of strategizing, trying to figure out, okay, so why am I not fitting in with my work environment and how can I make that better? I feel like people generally like you, but things are not going to be coming to your doorstep for this month. So it requires that extra push, that extra nudge for you to make the effort to approach other people. And at the same time, if there is somebody in your work environment that you feel is kind of sidelined by other people intentionally or unintentionally, try to make an offer to them. Try to, reach out and make them feel a part of the group. If they have been problematic in your work environment, um, extending an invitation, extending a gesture to make them feel very included in the conversation, in the group dynamics. That is one of the major ways I feel that's going to get them to get you to win over an ally, especially if they have been very, very demanding or very difficult to work with or to deal with. Some of you, this might be a client. For others, this might be a coworker or a boss who feels like they're kind of like slighted or jilted or not included as part of the group. So I feel like extending that gesture of goodwill to this person will allow them to feel like they're part of the group, and for them to kind of like be less defensive, and just it will allow you an opportunity to harmonize, the work energy or the energies in the work environment. Okay. There is here some legal arrangement, custody issues as well. I do feel a very strong, I do feel like a very strong children vibe coming through. So this is basically legal issues as it relates here to a fire sign. We have a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo, and we have some type of a financial dealing that you're still at odds with them about. It's almost like you're trying to make a financial proposal to them. They're turning the other way. They don't really want to talk about this. They want to, squash it. They don't want to have this conversation. So if you are dealing here with a fire sign, either you're either as like an ex-partner or as somebody that you have some type of financial dealing with, I do sense that they're going to make themselves, like missing in action this month. And there might be communication coming back and forth between the two of you, where you are trying to get them to finalize something or to agree upon something. And they just feel to me like they're very passive about it, like they're not really responding, or they're going to make themselves scarce and just not be in the picture. I feel like they need some time to mull things over, or I also feel like some of them are upset and they're not feeling like this financial arrangement is really fair. So they're not responding because they want to bounce ideas off other people. So if you're dealing with them, be very patient. I feel like they're going to respond to you, but they just need more time to figure out the best course of action. Okay. I'm sensing, if you have started a job, I feel like you are in a job where it's not leading to a career and it's frustrating you. You might have been promised promotions. You might have been promised like advancements, even like opportunities to be made a permanent if you are working on a temporary or on a contract basis. And I feel that you're worried about your viability in this work environment. You're worried about your long-term prospects if you were to continue to work here. So I feel like reorienting your sense of direction when it comes to work, when it comes to career, and really taking the time for the month of August to figure out, am I being appreciated where I am right now? Am I getting whatever is due to me? Or can I do something else that will provide me with, a better environment where I feel a lot more appreciated, where I feel like I can make a huge more impact, more of a difference in other people's lives. So I feel a lot of you are kind of restructuring the work environment, and you're trying to find that position or that role in that organization that is uniquely you. And I do feel a major wanderlust happening for you for this month, where you do want to break out of your comfort zone and you want to do something new. And you're waiting for financial settlements as well in order to jumpstart that new thing in your life. I feel for those of you who are dealing with this, you're going to have a resolution and you're going to be able to know which direction to move forward. Okay.